My name is Devon Hatchett Robinson, and I am a champagne-obsessed wine educator, wine writer, and I am also the person behind the brand and business that is a wine lifestyle business called The Bubblista. I am here to be your host tonight for this beautiful champagne experience that I'm going to take you on, and I'm just really excited and hopeful that you guys will love these champagnes when we're done as much as I do. So one of the things that I want to talk about first is when people are typically asked the question, or are asked the question, what champagne should I get? You typically get what I call the champagne usual suspect answers, and these are the big houses, the big name brands that we hear all the time. These houses are called Grand Marquis houses or Grand Marquis maisons, and those brands include Veuve Clicquot, Taittinger, Moet and Chandon. But tonight I want to take you on a wine adventure to delve into the deeper, more cult classic kind of champagnes that people are going after so that you can step up your champagne sipping game just a little bit. So we're going to have a couple of wines, we're going to do a little talking about it, we're going to do a little tasting, and we're going to do a little bit of learning too. So before I jump into this very first wine here, I need to give you just a little bit of a champagne primer. So the typical champagne, which is a brut champagne that you go into the wine shop and you buy, is an assemblage. And the word is exactly what it sounds. It's an assembled wine. It's a blend. And it's typically a blend of two of the major grapes in the Champagne region, which are Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But there is a third grape that has been gaining popularity and notoriety in the last, say, 6 or 7 years, called Pinot Meunier. Pinot Meunier is actually a cousin of Pinot Noir, but it is easier to grow, it's more thinly skinned, and it brings something extra to the champagnes that Chardonnay and Pinot Noir don't bring. So typically Pinot Noir brings structure and body to your champagne. But what does Pinot Meunier do? Pinot Meunier brings very aromatic notes, very fruit-forward flavors. So you get these beautiful combinations of structure and body and fruit notes and aromas in one bottle. What makes this champagne a cult status champagne is that not very many producers are making champagnes that are either mostly or 100% Pinot Meunier. This one is actually 80% Pinot Meunier and 20% Pinot Noir. This is one of those champagnes that the sommeliers are looking after and wanting to get after and get into their wine stashes. And so we're going to share and talk about this one tonight. This champagne is Champagne Moussefille, and you can't see it on the label, but it's l'or d'origine, which means it's talking about where it comes from, the origins of it. And this is a Blanc de Noir because it's made from those two dark grapes that we talked about, Pinot Meunier and Pinot Noir. So I'm going to pour a little bit, we're going to taste a little bit, and we're going to see what we think about it. So definitely swirl your champagne. What that does is it releases aromas and notes for you to enjoy. You give it a little swirl. Ooh, give it a beautiful sniff. It smells so wonderful. Notes that I'm kind of getting right off the bat. I'm getting some strawberry notes, which can be expected. We talked about those two black grapes that we're experiencing in this glass. We've got some pear, like a soft yellow apple notes, florals, like white florals. And I'm getting some toasted nut aromas, some toasted nuts, and as well as a little bit of like toasted bread. Maybe even like toasted pastry, because I'm kind of getting some honeyed notes as well. So we've taken a sniff, let's take a sip. This is really, really good. A lot of the notes that I was getting on the nose, I'm also getting on the palate. I'm getting strawberry, I'm getting some citrus, some really good zesty citrus there. I'm getting the toasted kind of hazelnuts. It's so good. I'm getting a little bit of spice, like maybe a little bit of ginger. This is an amazing champagne. Some of the things that I would pair with this would include, scrambled eggs with like caviar would be amazing with this. You could definitely do this with like mac and cheese with some freshly shaved truffles on top. And this would also be amazing with some spicy fried chicken. The acidity, which is really rich and delicious, will cut through all the fats in the mac and cheese, will cut through the fat and the saltiness of the chicken, and will stand up to the saltiness in something like caviar. So this is definitely a champagne that you want to put in your wine cellar. It's amazing, it's delicious, and if you see it, you definitely want to get it. So we're gonna move on to champagne number 2. And it's a little bit of a surprise because this is what's called a Coteaux Champenois. Champenois means made in the champagne style. But why this is so special is it actually doesn't have any bubbles. It's a still champagne. Mind blown, right? A champagne with no bubbles. But this is the Coteaux Champenois. It is Jean Vaisselle, and it is its own appellation. The Coteaux Champenois has its own appellation, which means they have their own laws about the grapes and how they're grown and how the wine is made. And so let's take a little pour so you can see how beautiful the color of this is. It is a 100% Pinot Noir. So I know you're probably wondering what the difference is with this, like, how is it different from any other Pinot Noir? Well, let me tell you. So the taste of this is so unique and dynamic. It's really like a combination between like a Pinot Noir and a Gamay. So it's going to be very nutty, very earthy. It's going to have some of those elements that you typically would not find in a champagne. So I'm going to take a little sniff. Oh, I'm getting some of that earthiness that I was talking about, like a little bit of pine. I'm getting some red berries for sure, like dark fruits as well. So like red cherry, blackberries. Oh, it smells amazing. I'm ready to take a sip. All of those fruit notes come right through on the palate immediately. I'm getting blackberry, I'm getting a little bit of blueberry even. I'm getting the red cherry, I'm getting a little strawberry. This is a nice light wine, but what's so beautiful about it is that it pairs with anything. It can go with the most delicate of cheeses, but it can also stand up to the most robust of cheeses. This would be wonderful with like a duck breast or a steak. But you don't have to get fancy with it. You can also have this with a beef stew. It'd be beautiful with that. This will be a champagne that will really surprise your friends and family when you break it out. It's beautiful, it's delicious, and it's something that you can really use to show people how you've leveled up your champagne sipping game. You've got a cult status grower champagne, and then you've got a still red champagne. I would encourage you to really seek these out. You're going to love them. I really feel like you're going to love them. Taste them, see what you think, and pair them with some of the food that you're going to have tonight, and enjoy. Hello everybody, it's